Greetings, sunshine. It is Franny of Shine with Franny. So glad to be with you here today on this Friday morning. It's about 11 o'clock. Just finished 4 or 5 mile run and come back, and there was a message, and I oftentimes hear God speak the loudest to me when I am kind of out on a run and just kind of in the zone. And there was a message that I heard this morning that is something that replayed throughout the week, and the word is why. The message, I should say, is why. And all week long, you know, the work that I've done, the clients I've worked with, the sermons I've listened to, the books that I've read, that has been just constant. So here I am sharing with you the message of why today. So oftentimes people will ask me, you know, this week alone, people sent me some emails and I've had some conversations with people. And, you know, some people question, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And, you know, 2 years ago, I left my job. 2 years ago in July, I left my job, a good paying, stable job, to really follow what I believe was God's call on my life. And while that was 2 years ago, I used March of 2015 as kind of the reset button on my business. I rebranded and kind of really set forth with powerful intention to use my purpose, to use my passion, as my purpose and reason for doing what I do. And, you know, oftentimes people will question, well, is it because you want to have, like, you know, the freedom of having a Friday 10 o'clock run? Or is it because, you know, you want to be famous or, you know, more visible? Those perhaps are going to be side effects or effects of something. But they're certainly not the reason why I do the things that I do. The reason why I do the things I do is because I really feel like God and the Holy Spirit speak to me. And I feel like, you know, there's a purpose for all of us, you know, and I really feel like that God is using me for a purpose. I know that the people that I work with oftentimes will affirm that, and how helpful it is to really kind of go the mile deep. And so the message that I heard this week, the messages I should say, you know, it started off with my Sunday sermon at church, and our theme at church this year is why not me? And oftentimes people have a very victim-like mentality where they think, why me? And our church is saying, well, why not me? Why can't God use you? And I thought to myself, you know, back in March or April when I was kind of rebranding this, like, absolutely, why not me? Why can't God use me? You know, I know that there's a ton of other people in this space, you know, of kind of self-help, if you will, and coaching. But, you know, there's something for everyone out there. Like, I might resonate with a certain person, and maybe somebody else will resonate with someone else. So I can't be, you know, I can't be fearful of someone else, and I can't be afraid of somebody else in this space, because I know that there's a message that I have that somebody needs to hear, right? That it's perhaps the same message, but a different messenger. And then also I was listening to a Simon Sinek TED Talk, and, you know, his golden circle is why, starting with why. Everything starts with why. And so why do you do the things that you do? And again, for me, it's very much living a life through the Spirit and in the Spirit, and very God-centered and God-directed. And so that's the reason why I make the decisions that I do. And then, of course, the Marianne Williamson quote, you know, she says, like, well, who are you to play small? Like, you are supposed to play big. And every single one of us is supposed to play big. And so that is my challenge, you know, is to each of you. Like, who are you playing small for? Like, does that help you? Does that serve the world? Does that serve, you know, you and your agenda? Does that serve, you know, God or your higher power, the divine? So I really am just challenging you to think today about the word why, and question, and not in a judgmental way, but just to get you to think a little bit deeper and more deeply about why you do what you do. You know, and so rather than perhaps questioning, you know, why I haven't started a program, or why are you not just making, you know, 6 figures already, and, you know, why are you X, Y, and Z, you know, all the questions that I get about my job and whatnot. I oftentimes use the analogy with my clients of being pregnant. And although I've never been pregnant with a human being to this point in my life, I feel like I have been pregnant 1,000 times over with all the ideas. And Shine with Franny is a long-term pregnancy, a full-term pregnancy. And just like we would never expect a pregnant woman at 5 or 6 months to go ahead and give birth and demand that she give birth, you know, I can't demand that of God. And so I really kind of ask, you know, His favor and ask that His will be mine. And that He just directs my paths. And He does that. He does that through affirmations. He does that through open doors. He does it through resources, experiences, people. And so whether it's, you know, a friend of mine sending me a GetGo gift card, you know, telling me, hey, you know, keep up the good work, I love what you're doing, or whether it is a friend of mine from college or high school that I haven't heard from and sends me a Facebook message, and it just, you know, touches my heart, and she says, or he says, I've gotten a lot of those too, you know, keep on doing what you're doing, I'm so proud of you, and thanks for stepping forward and doing this. Or, you know, or it's just maybe even it's just, you know, another client signing up and saying, wow, you know, I love what I've heard from you so far and what I've learned from you so far, so I want to keep on going. That's what I'm doing, what I'm doing. So there's my message of why I'm doing what I'm doing. My encouragement, of course, to you is to share why you're doing what you're doing. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. shinewithfranny.com. A lot of you oftentimes ask if I have a blog or whatnot. I share a lot of things in my newsletter that you have to sign up for on my website that I don't necessarily put on social media. So I'd love to go ahead and add you to that. So I'm actually going to share this on there today. And to borrow a little phrase from my friend Joe Moss, why do I do what I do? Well, it is to make God famous. So much love to you all. Create a great day, create an awesome weekend, and set forth with intention, wondering why you do what you do. Much love, everybody.